Everyone is different and leads a different life, so you'll have to tailor this approach to your own life. First off, let's start with the obvious, which is your skill set. Your skill set can be your full-time job. If that's what you do, you could be a tradesperson, you could be a sales representative, whatever. That is your skill set, and that is usually the first thing that you'll monetize after leaving high school. Maybe you'll go to college, get an apprenticeship or a diploma, maybe you'll go to university, get a degree. Anyway, that will be your skill set. That is what you are trained to do throughout your younger years, and that's something that you'll grow and develop into. So obviously, that makes sense that that's the first thing that you're going to monetize, your skill set. Moving on. The second, and probably the second most obvious, will be your residence, so the place you live. Granted, it is quite hard nowadays to save up to buy a house. However, if you're not an idiot and you do try and save your money rather than wasting it on piss on the weekends, going out in the city, spunking it on designer clothes, things like this, you can actually save a substantial amount of money just by being a little bit frugal for a few years. Regardless, when you buy your first house, this is what I've done. You might not want to do this, cool, but I'm going to stick it in here anyway. It is a way to monetize your life, which I have done and what I am doing now. So, you can buy a house, 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, maybe even a 1-bedroom house. You buy a house and you can rent the rooms out. You can rent the rooms out, or you can do Airbnb, which is a bit more hands-on approach. You've got to change sheets and things every day, keep the rooms clean and all that kind of stuff. It's a bit more time for money. However, you can monetize your residence in this way. Even if you had a 1-bedroom house, you could sleep, if you wanted to, in the living room, on the living room floor, and still rent a room out and probably make about £400. £400 profit just by renting one room if you had a 1-bedroom apartment, flat, house. And you can get houses anything from £50,000, £60,000 from 1 bedroom up, from where I'm from anyway. But if you're in the UK, you'll be able to do this. Even if you're in the States, I'm not sure what the law is over there, but residence is another way to monetize your life. Next up is your hobby. Let's go with fishing, for example. You might like to fish once a week, twice a week, whatever. How can you monetize fishing? Well, maybe you're fishing in an area where you're allowed to take the fish and you can sell the fish. I don't know how much you'd make from this, it's not my thing, but you could monetize it in that way by selling fish. Or if you were really good at it, you could start a YouTube channel and talk about fishing and things like this. I actually know a friend that does this and he is actually monetized. He's from my workplace. He has a fishing channel. So that is a hobby that you can monetize. Obviously, again, tailor this to your own lifestyle. You may not want to do fishing, you may have something else. Figure out if you can monetize it in some way and then apply it. You could like knitting, for example, and you knit really good jumpers, sweaters if you're American, and then you could sell those. It's a hobby that you can learn to monetize. So a lot of things in your life you probably don't think about, but you can actually monetize them for another source of income, secondary or even a third income. My hobby, you could argue, is YouTube. I'm trying to monetize this, and that comes under a hobby so far. I do try and treat it a bit more like a business. However, at this point, for this purpose, it's a hobby. So the third thing we're going to talk about is, or the third area of your life that you can monetize, is your body. Some people don't have a great body. Some people are not gifted with a good body, have worked hard for their body. And if you've worked hard on your body, you can also monetize this. I'm not talking about porn, although you could do porn. Me, myself, I've monetized it recently by doing butler jobs, like naked butler service, birthday girl parties, hen parties. I work for a company called Butlers in the Buff. We do that like on the weekends, just for a bit of fun really, but it's a way that I can monetize my body because, girls like sexy guys, sexy shredded, massive, muscular guys, and I've worked on my body and I've got that body and I've monetized it in that way. You could also be a stripper, which I actually technically am as well, and you could monetize it that way. You could also sell photos, calendars of yourself, do these, what are they called? Fan sites, like OnlyFans, whatnot. Again, that's down to you whether you'd want to do that or not. However, you can monetize your body. And that's the third one, body. Okay, next up is interests. You can monetize your interests. What are you interested in? My interests? Bearded dragons. I like reptiles, I like bearded dragons. So I thought, why not breed them? I have a male and 2 females. I bought the 2 females last November. I started breeding them. They laid over 100 eggs. I've already sold 53 bearded dragon babies, some to reptile shops all across Norfolk as wholesale in bunches of like 10 or 11. And then I've sold, I think, 11 or 12 retail so far just to people £50 a pop, and I've averaged about £30-ish each, selling them to reptile shops. So that's my interest to bearded dragons. Obviously, again, tailor this to your life, whatever your interests are. You might be interested in cats and breed cats or whatever, or it could be something totally irrelevant to animals. However, whatever your interest is, you can monetize it. And I have monetized breeding bearded dragons, although one of my dragons had to have surgery and that cost me like £1,200, which really offset my profits. However, in sales, the first month I made 500, the second month I made nearly 900 now, because I'm in the second month. And then next month I've kind of already sold out to all the reptile shops locally, so it's not really scalable. So next month I'll probably make pennies, maybe a few £100, and I'll probably call it quits after that. But there you go, that's a hobby, no, interest. That is an interest that I've monetized. Think what you're interested in and how you could monetize that in your life. Moving on, last but not least, content. So throughout the skill sets that you've had in your life, your interests, your hobbies, your body, you may then want to create content on this, on how you got to those levels in your skill set, or something that you've learned throughout your personal journey, or whatever. Could be you're talking about breeding bearded dragons, for example. You can then monetize this information, this knowledge, as content. This content, it could be YouTube, could be Instagram, any of the social medias, could be blogs, whatever. There's many other ways, TikTok, whatever. You can monetize those. You could write a book, an audio book. Content is obviously the biggest thing I'd say nowadays, because everyone is just constantly sitting on their phone watching it. So if you've got something valuable to say, or maybe not valuable, maybe just entertainment, if you can entertain someone in some way, you can monetize that content. I try and go for teaching people, helping people learn a new skill, or provide some value in some way. That's what I would like to do, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Courses, you can also sell courses on. If you've done 10 years in the fishing game and you're really good at fishing, you might want to sell a fishing course, for example, and you used your one skill set or hobby of filming to film it and then market and sell these courses. I hope that provided you with some value and that you can apply this in some way to your own life. Subscribe to follow my personal journey and learn with me the mistakes that I make so that you don't have to. Thanks for watching.